A lot of y'all probably use Snapchat. Maybe you have a burner. But look, this gonna be a story time about how a burner Snapchat account resulted in my whole city hating me and almost got me in legal trouble. I will show y'all proof of everything, but as you can see, we cannot find an account for this username. That is because this account got permabanned. Now we gotta go way back in time to 8th grade. That's when I initially created this account. Now during this time, this is when schools were making exposed accounts, posting girls' news, things of that nature. So the reason I created this account was to troll my mans. So pretty much what I did, I got nudes from a girl that was on one of these exposed accounts. I created this account to pretend to be my man's. And I basically sent her own news. I was just like, damn, you looking good. I can't wait to beat to this. Things of that nature, just mad out of pocket. Now look, my man's name is not John Langford. That name just came to my mind. I chose that, and then when I was on the burner account, I said that I was my friend. So like I said, this happened 8th grade, pre-quarantine. Nothing happened to my friend though. Like she didn't report him to the school or anything. But any chance she gets, she would just talk shit about him. Call him a weirdo, things of that nature. But after the whole situation, I never touched the account again. It only served one purpose. That was until quarantine came around. So obviously during quarantine, I'm in the crib bored as hell. So from time to time on my main account, I would just be swiping up on random people's stories. Just dick eating. But I would find myself watching what I say. I didn't want to get screenshotted and posted. That's when it clicked. I'm like, yo, let me just log back into John Langford. And that's when the cycle of nonsense began. So I get on my account. I only had the one girl added, nobody else. So I start going through my quick add. I'm adding everybody I could see. I'm searching up random usernames on the search. I'm searching up people that I actually know. I'm just adding mad people. Like, I'm talking about hundreds. And at first, it just started off as lighthearted. Like, I'll swipe up on a random girl's story telling her she's chopped. Tell a large person, yo, bro, go work out. You know, things of that nature. But look, the account was starting to gain some traction. And I accidentally attached my phone number to the account. So people who had my contact saw that it was me. So people were hitting me up personally like, yo, bro, was this you? I'm like, no. Like, that's got to be a mistake or something. So shit was getting too hot, so I had to lay low for a little bit. Didn't touch the account for a couple of months. Let people forget about John Langford's antics. But I didn't want to just come back with allegations of me being John Langford. So what I did was I created a huge group chat. I basically added every single person I had added. So it was a huge-ass group chat. I forget exactly how many people it was because there was a limit. But whatever the limit was, I know I reached that. So during this time, I had my iPhone and I also had an iPad. This the iPad now. It's actually completely destroyed. Like the screen is completely gone. It's done for. But the reason I'm bringing this up, because on one account I was logged into my main Snapchat, and then the other one I was logged into John Langford. So I use this to clear all John Langford allegations. I'm just saying nonsense. Like, I'm picking on people one by one, dismantling their entire character, going for all insecurities. Then I start going for myself. I'm like, yeah, you ugly and black. Then I go to my iPad real quick. Yo, you hiding behind a fake account. I'm on John Langford. Yo, drop the addy. Go onto my iPad. Stop playing. I'll drop it right now. Just going back and forth, and it looks realistic. So I basically use this entire group chat and all the conversations as security. If I were to ever get exposed for being John Langford, I would just go back and say, yo, this guy literally had me in the group chat and I was arguing with him. That's when the trolling came back in full force. But this time I was taking it even further, making threats against people's lives, just doing all types of crazy shit. And that's when the police got involved. But look though, I'm gonna have to hit y'all with this part 2, man. Don't worry though, it will be posted. Alright y'all, we got part 2 of the John Langford story time. So in the last part, we left off at the trolling going to a whole nother level and how police got involved and stuff. So my first victim was some random common black thug. Now to anger a thug like that, all you gotta do is call him a bitch ass nigga. That's exactly what I did. And he was on go. So I took advantage of his lack of brain cells. Told him drop the addy. And of course, he did. And when he dropped this addy, I ordered 25 pieces to his house. Then he made a story post showing the delivery guy. Then he tagged me. He's like, yo, John Langford's mad weird. Then I called the cops to his address. Right after I did that, blocked him. Now you may be thinking, boundflipz, if you call the cops, they're gonna be able to trace your number, even if you call with no caller ID. That's where this little piece of shit comes in. So this is a shitty Boost mobile telephone. I don't even remember where I got this shit, but I know it's prepaid. It got data and shit on it. So look, during this time, I had no car. You know, it's quarantine. My parents would let me go on bike rides from time to time. So I told my parents I was going for a bike ride, brought this phone with me, called the cops. Now look, this is the only time I ever called the cops on this phone. As you can see, this battery is no longer in here. So as soon as I hung up, I threw the battery into a river just so this shit could never be traced again. Now there was many other victims. There just wasn't police involved, so I'm not gonna go in depth. I'll make a separate video of the victims of John Langford if that's what you guys want. Like I was saying, the next victim was a racist white girl. So look, a lot of the times I would just mess with innocent people, but I never would say anything too crazy. But because you're a racist little shit, I'ma take it there with you. So look, I don't be saying shit like this now, but it was different times. I was younger. So I told this bitch to go, and that really upset her. And she told me she's reporting me to the police. Now, because I'm John Langford, when she threatened to report me to the police, I told her I was gonna BOMB the entire police station. Now, whenever I do highly illegal things on the account, I always block the person right after. But they got their screenshot off before I blocked them. But I didn't even know that. So look, there was only one person I actively told about John Langford. I had friends that I would talk to about John Langford. It's people posting screenshots of things that I said to them. You know, pizzas being ordered left and right, derogatory terms being used. So he would come up in conversations, but nobody knew that it was me, except for my one friend. So my one friend tells me, yo bro, this girl just reported you. She recorded a video of her calling the police on me and reporting John Langford 20. So then I low-key started panicking. I'm searching shit up like, can the police get access to private Snapchat information? Like, I'm trying to figure out if the police actually decide to do a criminal investigation into John Langford 20, would they be able to find out who I am? So from the last story time, y'all should know this already. When shit gets hot, I abandon John Langford. I was thinking about deactivating the account, but I had too many memories attached to it. So I didn't delete the account, I just stopped using it completely. So once again, I let John Langford fade away into irrelevancy. Then eventually I made my first and my last comeback of John Langford 20. So the return of John Langford part 2 happened about 7 months after I initially got reported by that one girl to the police. Like everything that happens with John Langford, it just happened one day because I was bored as hell. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't been on John Langford in a minute. I never got the police knocking on my door. I think I'm in the clear. I went back to my trolling antics. But there was one specific guy that I decided to do dirty because I knew that it would invoke a crazy reaction. I feel like everybody has like one specific person who's pretty well known in their area. It's not like they're famous or anything, but like they just like those Snapchat demons. Like they got mad people at it. They're Hollywood. They always half swipe your shit. It's like they're not famous, but everybody in the area knows who they are. So he posted his niece on his story. Now look, y'all, I gotta hit you with this part 3. Do not be angry. Do not DM me being angry. I'm gonna post it. Alright, y'all, part 3 of the John Langford story time. So on the last part, we left off at a well-known person in my area posting his niece on his story. Now look, a lot of y'all may not agree with this, but I'm trying to tell y'all, when I hopped on John Langford, I was not myself. Like, this nigga was literally an alter ego. Like, I swear to you, wallahi, I would literally train myself to not believe that I was John Langford. Like, I genuinely didn't think that I was him, and I still don't think that I was him. Look, I swiped up on this story. I told him I would smack the shit out of his niece and bite her face off. From there, bro, was a chain reaction of craziness. He posted it on his story. He put a little caption saying, "You weird as shit. When I catch you, I'ma kick you." I'm getting mad people adding me by search, and I'm standing on business. You know, I'm just keeping that same energy. Anybody calling me messed up, I told them I would do the same thing to any of their loved ones. And then I posted on my story, anybody who want to fight, come pull up to this park. I just put a park that was in the area, and I said right after school. Now look, when I say my area, I didn't actually live in the area where all of this was going on. I live about like 15 minutes away from there. A 15-minute drive. I don't even know if anybody actually pulled up, and I don't even know what happened afterward because they spam reported John Langford so much to the point they locked me out the account. But look, I've been locked out of Snapchat accounts before. They usually give you a link. You could go to the Snapchat website and then you unlock your account. When I went onto the Snapchat website, they told me that my account was permanently locked. So then I had to officially call it quits. But during this time, nobody found out that I was John Langford. My secret was safe. People were still talking about John Langford from time to time, but as life progressed, John Langford was no longer looked at as an actual person. It was just a figment of everybody's imagination. After a while, John Langford was never mentioned again, and I went on with life as if nothing ever happened. But now I'm telling y'all this story. I think it's time, chat. Hey man, how much are you willing to try to mess up someone's relationship? Depends. I haven't gotten that bag in a long time. Jordan retired one time, but he ended up coming back. What y'all think about this shit right here? This is looking real interesting. I think I might just go through with it. I don't know though. Y'all feel like I've leveled up from those times. I'ma do some reflection. You know, give it a day or two. Then I'll really make my decision. I don't know what y'all think social media is, but if you think the feds is gonna come and get me about John Langford 20, you are sadly mistaken. Now, a lot of story times I tell you guys, they're around that 5-year range, and statutes of limitations would not allow me to be prosecuted for these crimes. But look, this is a social media account. I'm here to entertain you guys. Now, let's just say they tried to prosecute me for something that I said I did. If they didn't come and get me about it when it actually happened, what makes you think that they would come and get me just because I'm saying that I did it? I gotta remember, these rappers are constantly talking about doing all types of illegal activities. And most of the time, those lyrics aren't even used against them. And when it's used against them, it was because they were being monitored over a long period of time. Like, they been watching you talk about stuff, and then the shit is happening as you're rapping about it. And they're only doing that because they are big public figures. So it's more meaningful to take them down. But I don't think they care about me that much. The only thing is that I could be on a watch list just because I did say that I was gonna be in the police station. But it was just an empty threat that happened years ago that I would never actually do. And you really shouldn't even take me serious. At the end of the day, I'm just an entertainer. So maybe none of this even happened. I know I give you guys a lot of details and I thoroughly explain everything that happens, but you never know. Like, I could really just be making everything up.